What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about Edge today, definitive, at the request of Eric Nelson. Thank you, Eric, for the request. Hit the like button, you guys. Subscribe. Let's get into it, okay? Here we are. It is the 8th of August, and we're up a lot higher than the last time we talked about this. I can't remember where it was, but maybe it was down here, maybe it was up here, maybe it was down. I can't remember where it was. I want to say it was back here, but not 100% sure. 24.5 cents now with 2 days, about 2 days, 22 hours left. I know it says 23, but look, we'll go on the daily time frame. Yeah, 22 hours left. 24.5 cents now. We'll come back at, well, actually, I think the daily time frame is fine. I was going to go back out to the weekly, but I think the daily's fine here. You've moved up a good bit in a very short amount of time. Let's just see from your low here on April 8th to your high. You've moved up about did a 6x. Not bad. Not bad. How much have you moved up in this recent little move here? Let's take your low from July or June. It was June 22nd to where you got your high here. That's about a 4.6x. So a lot of this growth has happened over the past month and a half. Nice to see. Definitely impressive. You've got a very, very bullish phase of consolidation going on. I know it's a rising wedge, and people sometimes are bearish on these, but I think really what this is, it's like a bull flag with the flag tilted upwards, and that, in my opinion, is actually more bullish than bearish. It's not too hard, it's not the easiest thing to come by. It's not common, but what happens is you're effectively like moving sideways, but with an upward sloping kind of trend. Your volume's dying off, yes, and that's not normally ideal, but it's a part of this consolidation phase. When you break out of it, that's when the volume needs to come in. So it's weird because it's like you're breaking out already, because you're moving higher, but you haven't really broken out yet, right? You can see where you're still in this trend very definably. So I think that this is fine. Watch watch you do the thing that crypto does, right? Not financial advice, not a financial advisor. This is why we don't chase shiny objects, why we avoid that little known thing called shiny object syndrome, because if you are chasing, let's say you're holding a coin, I don't know, like Cookie DAO, or one of my favorites, Onyx coin, or Swift coin, or some coin that's being boring. Maybe I don't know, I can't think of any other coins off the top of my head. Maybe one of the more prominent ones that's a little bit boring right now, and it looks like this. But you sell your boring coin that looks like this right now for the coin that looks like this right now, that's had this move up, right? Wouldn't you know it, that you sold this coin, this boring coin, for this very, very exciting coin. Then the exciting coin dumps, it corrects, like most things do after they pump, and then your boring coin, which hasn't pumped yet, starts to pump. Don't get shiny object syndrome. Don't put yourself in that position. The most appropriate reaction to have when you look at this, if this was a project you were considering investing in, if it's a project you feel like you missed out on, and you want to FOMO in, the most appropriate reaction in a moment like this is to applaud. I like to say it's like looking at people on a cruise, right? Like you're at the base, sending people off at the cruise, and you're like, I wish I was with you. I wish that I bought my ticket, but I didn't. So good for you. Have fun. I'll be here waiting for the next ship to take off. You know what I mean? Like that's it, right? Don't jump in the water and get chopped up by the propellers. I don't know, that went south pretty quick, but it can go south pretty quick, you guys. So avoid shiny object syndrome. Clap for the people, applaud the people, be happy for the people that were a part of this pump. Okay, and if you're fortunate enough to buy back at lower prices, do that. Stuff like this, typically with these wedge patterns, and this is why people are bearish on them, because typically with rising wedge patterns, you actually do come back down to where the wedge began, right here. And wouldn't that make perfect sense? Wouldn't that just be the most perfect thing to do? Because right there at the base of this wedge is where you had prior resistance here and prior resistance there. It makes a lot of sense, and this is why you don't chase, because 24.5 cents to 12.3 cents, that's a hell of a difference right there, right? And right before alt season kicks off, you don't want to take a 50% haircut. Trust me, that's been there before. Hopefully I won't be there again, but shit happens, you guys. From a high to a low, you've gone to your 1414 down. This has very, very beautiful and common structure here, going up to the golden ratio. You could find resistance. I think the lowest that you could go to right now would be 10 cents. I don't think you do that. I'm not saying that that's what you do. I'm just saying that'd be the lowest you could go to. I would assume, if anything, you find support at 21.7 to 19 cents and then continue to move up. Or maybe you're about to break out right now. Let's look at the indicators and see if we can figure this out, pick apart some details. Looking at the 1 hour time frame here. By the way, I know nothing about this project. I looked into it momentarily. I remember whenever I did my last video on it, maybe I went over the fundamentals. I don't remember, but I know that I looked it up. I did some fundamental research, and I was actually pretty impressed. I think that this is an interesting project. if you want to invest in this project, do your own research. Let's actually look at the market cap real quick. Let's just see, because I'm pretty sure it's a low market cap coin too. Let's just see. Edge definitive. Yeah, 49 million. That's a very low market cap, you guys. Something like that. I mean, a 100x would be 4.9 billion, which is a lot of money. And it's a big accomplishment to do a 100x, but it's a very 4.9 billion, $5 billion. It's a very, very attainable outcome. So 100x, definitely possible with something like this. Make sure you're buying the right edge, right? Definitive, number 576, not these low-lying fruits. 8.2 million on a $50 million market cap. That's good. That's good volume. That's pretty damn good volume, you guys. And what you're doing here, I mean, that's Bitcoin. I was like, what you're doing here is actually very productive. You're finding support at prior resistance. Hey, that's good. Bitcoin has this megaphone pattern right here. Hopefully we find support and we move up higher. If not, we're going lower. We might actually go all the way down to, what would that be, 115.6K, form a head and shoulders pattern, and then drop lower through the depths. Probably not. I don't think that's going to happen. But you never know. You never know. Watch that exact thing happen. I think Bitcoin's moving up, though. 1 hour time frame, looking at the indicators, RSI looks bullish as hell. You've got higher lows and higher highs, and you're actually right where you would look to find support. Higher lows there, higher highs there in this little channel. Move up, form some bearish divergence, then move down. So that implies you're going to correct soon, but maybe you push a little bit higher first. You're at 24.6 cents, go to 28 cents, whatever. Get a double top in there, something like that, right? Stochastics pointed down, yeah. You'll probably see a little bearishness. MACD's ready to go down too. You don't have to move up higher. But if you do, I would expect nothing more than like a double top or a slightly higher high. So you probably do correct from here a little bit soon enough. These indicators look ready to roll over a little bit. So where are you going to go? Whenever I say correct a little bit, I really do just mean a little bit. What would be? I think this low would be the most appropriate one to take. Low to high. Maybe 19.6 cents, maybe 12.5 cents at the most. Right? I think that 10-cent area, was it 10 cents? That was the most that I really could see you going to, but I think 12.5 to 20 cents is a very appropriate target area, and you're at 24.6 cents now. This is why you don't FOMO the top and you don't chase, right? What if it keeps going higher? What if you get another 100% move today? Good for you. Good job. Good job. I wish I bought, but you know what? It's better to, you have to get it through your head, right? Think logically here. It's better to not buy here and miss it doing this after it's already up so much. It's better to not buy here and miss that than it is to buy here and get screwed, right? Especially if you're holding a coin or something else, you got money in something that you've been waiting to pump. You don't want to be put in that position, right? Because ideally what you're probably thinking is, I could make a little bit of extra money and then sell it and put it back into my coin that I just sold, and then I'll have even more and I'll double down. But then what happens is it goes down. And then you're in a position where you sell this, you put it back into your original coin for less than what you would have had before, or you're stuck in this now and then your coin pumps without you. Oh, it's just so bad. Don't do it. Don't FOMO. If you bought here, understand it's not too late to sell. It's actually a very good selling opportunity right here. I was thinking that we'd break out to the upside, but I'm starting to think that we're going to go to the downside, right? That 1 hour time frame is there. But if we hold 19 cents, 19.5 cents as support, maybe not. Maybe we do move up higher. If we hold 19 cents, we move back up here, then I think that would be enough to reset that 1 hour time frame indicator list that we have there, and then continue to rally. So there's hope, but I'm starting to think really that you'll move down to about 16 cents to 12.5 cents. You're at 24.6 cents now, so correction time probably. 4 hour time frame rejecting the overbought zone. RSI rejecting the overbought zone. Very bullish RSI and stochastics overall, and MACD. The MACD is the only thing that looks like it could produce more growth, but in contestation to that, you are finding resistance at the same areas you've been finding resistance, at least on the blue line. The 4 hour agrees with the 1 hour. You're at a point to move down. Okay. More so than a point to move up. Okay. Not financial advice, not a financial advisor. Daily time frame, bearish divergence. You do have bearish divergence on the MACD. RSI could be rejecting the overbought zone. That's not ideal. Stochastics might be crossing down as well. Not ideal. So yeah, I think I'm going to make some enemies here, man. Oh my God. I know what it's like, right? A lot of you have probably never seen me. You're like, who's this guy making a bearish video on Edge? Don't you know I've been holding Edge for a whole week now? I bought here at this high. It's not going down. It can't go down. Your TA is nonsense. I'm going to get all those comments. TA doesn't matter for this thing. The fundamentals are so bullish, right? I've had that same exact conversation with a few people this cycle on a few different coins, and I haven't been proven wrong once, actually. I've been wrong. I've been wrong this cycle plenty of times, right? I've definitely been wrong before, and I will be wrong again. But whenever it comes to stuff like this, when it comes to pumps, it's a little bit different. But whenever it comes to topping off, I feel like I'm actually pretty damn good at calling relative highs. I even actually, I'm not trying to brag here, but just to bolster that point, I literally sold the top. You guys, I sold. I want to say it was 122.8. Is that where it was? The high itself was at 123.2. Right? Like I had a long position, I let it go. Like it, I freaking killed it, man. I literally killed it. Yeah, it was nuts. It's absolutely nuts. And I even sold this one too. I went long again at like anyways. I'm not the best with bottoms. I think I get overzealous. I get excited. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's I don't know if anybody else feels this, but I feel like it's harder for bottoms. At least for me, it is. But with tops, and especially with pumps, because everything's boring right now, right? Everything's moving down, being boring. Here's this new coin. It's got a low market cap. It's got a lot of potential, and it actually does. It has a lot of potential, you guys. And if you read the white paper, you read about it. I remember. I don't remember what it is that this thing does, but I remember I thought it was interesting whenever I did read about it. I think it does have a lot of potential, but you're still up pretty damn high. And again, I did say this is normally bearish. I thought it might be bullish. It might actually be a bullish thing. That was my thoughts at first. But looking at the indicators, it's signals that we're going to go down. So probably does go down. And typically with these wedge patterns, what you do is you come down. Nobody wants to hear that the asset that they just bought or that they FOMO'd into or that they bought before and it kept going up. Or maybe even if you bought it down here, nobody wants to hear that the asset that's doing well is going to go down 50%. But you're probably going to get a 50% haircut, or if not that, at least a 30% haircut. And the thing is, it's very common to see 30 to 60% drops in crypto or more. Even in bullish times, not in bearish times, it's very common to see in the midst of a move up. Well, okay, that's not what I meant to do. In the midst of a move up, it's very common to get 30 to 60% haircuts. Okay. Onyx coin, whenever Onyx coin did a 21x or a 20x in 2 weeks, it dropped 40% 3 different times in that 2 week period. Let me say that again. When Onyx coin XCN did a 20x over 2 weeks, it dropped 40% 3 different times while it was in that pump. It's very common. It's called volatility. It's called shaking out the weak hands, right? And the people that get shaken out are the same people that buy the highs, right? That's why. If you're in a position of strength, you're not going to care if it drops. You're like, it'll come back, whatever. But from a high to a low, 30% drop would be about 19.2 cents, which we have targets for that, right? And then a 50%, 60%, a 60% drop would take us down to about 11 cents. I could see that happening. It's possible. But I'm thinking something between 12 cents, 20 cents, something in that area. I got nothing else for you guys. Will this thing continue to grow? That's the question. I think so. I think so, man. It was interesting before. There wasn't enough to go off of. It was a new coin, so I didn't want to make that call, that judgment in the last one. But damn, you did well. You did a very good pump, and you absolutely will go higher. I don't believe this is the end of the cycle for you. I don't believe this is the end of it. But come down, correct, find support here, and then whenever you continue to rally, you might just go up to 64 cents to $1.01, $1.02. You're at 25 cents now, so you've got a lot more growth to go. And if you bought the high, it's not ideal. I would think that you're at a good point to get out still. Not financial advice, not a financial advisor, but and then if it goes up and I'm wrong, don't chase it. Okay, just accept defeat. Accept that you listened to the wrong YouTuber and delete me. No, hopefully you don't delete me, but it happens sometimes. Like I said, I've been wrong before. I'll be wrong again. But with stuff like this, I haven't been wrong once this cycle. Right? I called the top on Caspa. I called the top on ZBCN. I called the top on Pepe. I'm trying to think what else. Maybe SWE. I can't remember. I know that I'm pessimistic on SWE, but anyways. Hyperliquid. And Pangu, actually. Pangu originally. I've actually been wrong about Pangu recently, but anyways, seen this before, been here before, we'll be here again, and everybody hates me whenever I call for the downside, but they forget that I'm also bullish. It's going to continue to grow. Don't hate me too much, man. It will give all those gains back. It's okay. It's not okay to buy the high, but it's really not okay to buy the high and sell the low. It's okay if you buy the high as long as you hold through the pain and you buy more on the way down. If you can buy more, fine. But if not, maybe get the hell out of here. I got nothing else. Hit the like button, subscribe, take care. Shout out to Eric one last time. Bye-bye.